The plaid shirt saga continues. Here was shot 92, and it got the dock worker, tiny little dude, but like that's what I've got to do now to each of these pieces and then cut out the squares and glue it on top of that. And I've got to do it for all the red pieces that I've got there. And it's not a lot of pieces, but they're super tiny. And I'm very interested to see how this is going to look in the end. So stick with me and you'll find out. Coming in from the side. So here we go. I cut out all of these super tiny, like you can see like how tiny all of this stuff was to cut out. And I was gonna do on these sides, I was just gonna cut it right out and not leave this other piece. But then I was like, well, let's try it out and see what, and I think it looks so much better with it like that. So now I just have to glue it onto the white part. Or no, I don't. No, I just recalled. I have to trace this out on the white part and then draw in the blue lines of the plaid and then glue it on. So yeah, thank goodness we had this conversation, or I just would have totally screwed it up and would have been so pissed. So thank you. Hands in, everyone. Way to go. Full pound. So I got the shirts done here in this little saga of the shirts. And as you can see, yeah, I just like put this on here, traced around it so I knew where to draw in the blue lines. And like, look, I'm exhausted. It was so tedious, so little, like focusing on getting that done. It's been a long day, and I'm stoked to get on to putting stuff together for shot 93 and all the way through to 100. Then we get then we get back to animating. All right, I'm done. This is it. I'm over. Hey, forget it. Go to sleep. Yo, what is up? We got shot 92, and it's kind of trickier than you might think. So here it is here. Chief chasing down dock worker, boom, puts him in the garbage. But the situation is, they're going in front of all of this, but then they go behind like this box and this bag there, and then fall into the garbage. So what I'm going to do is, here's the box and the bag. I'm going to do that on green screen and add it in so it can be over top so they can go on behind it. But then the rest has to be, like they have to be on a piece of glass so everything can move under them. But then when they fall into the garbage bags, I'm going to take the piece of glass away and like have them on that bottom layer. And it's only, the glass is going to be up this much, like this weird little Lego pad is what that's going to be. And I think it should work. We're going to try it out. Let's see, kids. Going to be a journey. Here we go. So one thing as I was putting the background together with all the garbage bags and stuff was I realized I didn't make enough for some reason. I don't know what I was really doing when I made them originally. So I got to make some new ones. I got to add in some different colors and some splashes of things. And this bag here is actually, when they land on it, it puffs up and just like goes over their head like that. There's a little shine on it. And this is going to be the green screen element that won't be there in the OG version. But then, like, if you look at the back of it, tons of tape. Everything's stuck together. Keeping big tape in business around here. So I'm hoping now we're going to size it up with the characters, make the wall background and the floor, and yeah, hopefully get this done sooner than later. Hands in for sooner, not later. Gator, whoop! So we're almost ready to go, but I just got to show you this thing. I've done it before, but I'm not sure if I really showed it. So here's the first shot. You can see where the framing is and everything, where the signs are and all that. And then when I do mine, it's much wider, right? You can see further this way, way further this way, higher, lower, and all that. But in order to remember what I'm actually focusing on in the shot, I make this thing flip, and that shows you now how, see how that's kind of all lined up? If you go up to this here, it's pretty much the same shot within that. Because before I've done things where I think things were in frame or I think things are out of frame and they're not. So I developed this like framing system just to kind of double check, just to make sure things are where they need to be. All right, so now I'm going to make the wall, the windows, and the street. and finally start this. I thought this was going to be a quick little let's throw things together. Never is. You know what is quick? This! When I put the street, like the concrete down, it was curled up, and so I couldn't obviously have it laid flat. It's curled up. So what I did was I put it underneath this yellow mat, and then I put these like record sets on it. So I'm going to take them off now, and hopefully it will be flattened. Let's see how it goes. Boom! Flattened it right out. Nicely done, Record Collections. And people say, why spend money on it, right? Dummies. All right, so here, we're going to get started now. So we are now at the part where I'm going to take away the two plates here and put both of these dudes on the very bottom layer on top of the garbage, because now they have to go behind some of those garbage bags. It's looking pretty good. I'll show you how it looks in the end, and we're going to see actually how the difference in the size changes and how much it changes, and if it looks really weird when they go into the garbage or not. So cross your fingers, kids. This is going to work. Yes, it will. Hands in, high fives, cross your fingers, all that stuff. So for this shot, a lot of the stuff was made with the Cricut, but then had to be put together once I could see through the lens of what I was looking at, plus making the background, and then I had to have everything like lay flat, so that's why I had those records on top of it. The craziest part about this was taking the top layer of the Chief on and off, and then having to match them up perfectly every single time I put the piece of glass back down, and surprisingly, it worked quite well, and I'm pretty stoked with it, and surprised about it.
Holy smokes, we got it done. And here, let's check it out here. All right, so this is what we want it to look like. Boom, tackles them in. That's how we want it to look like. Okay, and so now this here, oops, is what we've got. And you can see when it gets light, that's when I took the glass away. So that's something that's pretty easy to fix in post. I have to bring it down. But overall, man, I am pretty stoked at how this one turned out. And I gotta say, when I started this one and having to do the different layers, taking it on and off, it was really tricky, and I didn't think that was really gonna work. But then I found the groove, and it really turned out cool. And then when I dropped them all down on each other, that was another nightmare. But once I found the groove of that, it turned out to be smooth and awesome, I think. So I'm stoked this one is done. On to the next one, a bit easier. Come on, kids, put your hands in. We're getting there. Sorry again. One more thing. I forgot. We had to do the green screen with, this looks like a cupcake, but it's actually a box with a garbage bag on it. And we were green screening that in so they go behind it in that one shot when they're falling. So I just got to wrap this up super duper quick. And then we're finally done. Shot 92 and 93 will be fun. I guarantee it. Wow.